In remote sensing, we will talk about sensors through the questions. So we have different satellites, we have airborne platform, there are sensors on board and they will sense the electromagnetic energy. So the question is, strength of signal doesn't depend upon which of the following factors. So the answer is reflection. Reflection. That is, whenever we are talking about any signal, the power, the intensity, all this, it depends. First is energy flux, dwell time, altitude. All on this it depends, but reflection, it doesn't depend. So a signal can have the capacity of recording and displaying numerical data on an image. And basically image is what? It's a two-dimensional array of values, radiometric values, or you can say the digital numbers. This is an image. So it depends on the energy flux, altitude, spectral bandwidth, dwell time, and also IFOV, instantaneous field of view. This is all is there. Let me tell you again, depends on energy flux, altitude, spectral band, width and dwell time, and IFOV. So if this is your satellite, say, or any platform, so this signal depends on all these. The strength depends. But reflection, it doesn't depend. There is energy flux. We are going to discuss it in the next few coming questions also. The energy flux is the amount of energy reflected or radiated from a terrain. That is, it is lower and higher depending upon whether it is a darker day or a brighter day. So I'm just giving an example of energy flux, how this affect this signal. Just taking an example. Similarly, dwell time and altitude are also there. Which of the following indicates the correct set of bands operated in LIS-3 satellite? So LIS-3 is not a satellite, LIS-3 is a sensor first of all. So LIS-3 is standing for linear imaging and self-scanning. LIS is this linear imaging and self-scanning. So this is a sensor, and when we talk about LIS, there are bands green, red, and green, red, NIR, near infrared, and shortwave infrared, SWIR. The swath is around 141 kilometer, and resolution, that is 2 points, they can be resolved on the ground, is 23 meter. So visible ray and NIR. So first one is the correct answer, because green and red comes in visible, NIR is already there. Because the NIR radio B, C, D, they don't suit the answer. So whenever we talk about LIS-3, we need to understand LIS-4 also. So these are different bands of LIS-3. So there are LIS-4 sensor also, you understand, So LIS-4, full form remains same. So it can work either in panchromatic. Panchromatic is basically, pan means total, whole, and chroma. For layman understanding, just understand black and white. It's not black and white, it's basically grayscale image, just understand like this. Multispectral is colored image. So it's not having SWIR, except SWIR. So either panchromatic, multispectral mode it will work, same bands as LIS-3. SWIR is not there. Okay. And resource set, if you see, the swath was 23.9 in a multispectral mode, and panchromatic mode, this swath is 70.3. That is the whole area it can see, it can cover. And resource set 2, the multispectral swath is enhanced 70 kilometers. So if a satellite is there, so the range it can see is this swath at one time. We have this linear array sensor. This can be also steered angle. It can be moved like we steer car. We have a steering like this, 26 degree across track and along track. So this is across track, not along track. And this also enable the stereoscopic imaging. So panchromatic is resolution is 5.8 meter, 5.8 meter. This is very good. 5.8 is really good. And swath I told you. So swath also we have the panchromatic resolution is 5.8, and we have multispectral. There is no sphere. Please remember, only this GR and NIR is there, and same spectral range is same. As I am saying, the resolution is 5.8 meter. List 4 is quite good. Energy flux may affect which of the following? Energy flux, as I told you, energy flux is what? Whenever there is an object, there is a surface. So that is the rate of transfer of energy or speed of that transfer. How far or how fast it travels through that surface. That is energy flux. So total rate of energy transfer, that is joule per second. That is energy per time. Joule per second. There is one more thing, specific rate of energy transfer. We normalize it for a unit area. That is watt per meter square. And what is what? Joule per second only. Joule per second is what? Because energy per unit time is power. Power is what? Watt per meter square. Okay. So watt per meter square. Watt per meter square. Okay. So this is how you can understand energy flux. Energy flux. Now you understood this. So these are different ways it can be taken. This energy, this is called as energy flux density sometime. Let me tell you the answer, then we discuss more. Energy flux may affect the strength of the signal. Strength of the signal. Just the value of the energy flux will affect the strength of signal, as they are interconnected. They are interlinked with one another. They are interconnected. Okay. And along with this, not only energy flux, the altitude, spectral bandwidth, this also affect the strength of the signal. This also affect the strength of the signal. So along with this, not only the energy flux, so we call this energy flux density there are different definitions. So radiative flux, heat flux, sound energy. These are special cases of the same term, energy flux. Okay. Which of the following can merge the imagery of list 3 and pan? List 3 and pan. So list 3 and pan, I already told you. So IRS multi-sensor. So IRS multi-sensor has this capacity to merge these. Let me tell you what is merging of these. Why do we require it? List 3 and pan. Pan is grayscale. As I told you in layman, you can understand black and white. It's not black and white, but grayscale you can understand. And color image. So when you have this grayscale has a better resolution, but color has a good look, but not a very good resolution. So why not to combine the good resolution with the appearance of black and white? So we merge them. So we have a good, we get the good image, good quality image in better resolution. To enhance the better resolution, quality will also be of the output will be good. So IRS multi-sensor is the answer. Okay, list 3 and pan just I gave for your reference. So list 3 23.5 special resolution, pan is 5.8. So you apply the 5.8 meter along with the power of that color which list 3 color image has. So these are spectral resolution. Spectral resolution is what? 4 bands, list 3, 1 band, pan. And radiometric resolution, you can assume it to be 0 to 2 to the power 6 minus 1. This is the range. The different gray shades will be there. Which of the following indicates the correct expansion of WIFS? WIFS is what? Wild field sensor. Wild field sensor, WIFS. So the answer is A. This A you can correct. So this is the expansion, wild field sensor, and IRS-C, IRS-1C, 1D. And these two satellites are already non-functional now, but these WIFs were there. So just to know that what was WIFs, etc., you need to know. So as I said, IRS-1C, 1D, it was this payload was on board this, and it has 2 band operating in a visible role in the determination of object specification. So as I said, 2 band operating in visible and NIR. So 2 bands are the visible and NIR. So this is what I am talking about. These are the bandwidths. Swath is 812, and this 7 bits quantization level, 0 to 7 2 to the power 7 minus 1. This will be the different shades here. And SNR is also okay. IRS-P3 satellite uses which of the following sensors? IRS-P3. So MOS. This modular optoelectronic scanner having a wide range capacity is mounted on this IRS-P3. We'll talk about IRS-P3 just now. And for what importance does have, what importance it is, this satellite is having a very wide coverage capacity, okay, because of this modular optoelectronic scanner, right? So we have two sensors here, one is WIFS and one is MOS. WIFS we already talked about, wide field sensor. PAN sensor uses two band operators. No, this is incorrect, it's false. We already seen that PAN is only one band, okay, grayscale we take only one band is there. So panchromatic sensor is placed on the boards of RS1C 1D, which are, as I said, non-functional. This is having the capability of handling only one band, which will be any of the waves in this EM spectrum. You see here, the PAN is on and only one band. This is what we are talking about. If you talk about LIS3, it has 4 bands. While mapping land use and land cover, which scale is recommended? So whenever we make a map, we need to know the scale. So what the distance on the map and distance on the actual ground. For example, you have say 1 centimeter or 5 kilometer ratio, or let me tell you that 5 kilometer you are representing by 1 centimeter on your map, or you are representing 10 kilometer area or range in 1 centimeter on your map. So the ratio is going to be the scale, that is called the scale. So this the better idea for mapping land use and land cover, better way, what is the scale? Is it 1:25? That will not be working. This is just an image of a Dehradun area. So this 1:25,000 scale is the best one, the better one. This is the mapping of land use and land cover is done so as to have a detailed description about each and every aspect. And for this scale of this 1:25,000 scale is recommended as it gives us a better visual, better appearance and better details. 1:25,000 is the answer. The sensor used in the digital elevation model can identify contour heights greater than. First is, what is contour? What is digital elevation model? So these contours are basically the lines which are at the same height. So if you see these 2 points, they are at equal height from the mean sea. Okay. So these are called contours. So every sensor has the capacity to record and display information with that we know. And the display of information is bounded by certain limits. So the limits it we are asking, we are talking about DM, digital elevation model. So we can find out DM through this contour, through this DM, and we just have certain points. We get certain height points, and through these center points or head points, we can extrapolate, and for the curve fitting can be done, and we can get the digital elevation model or the 3D view. Okay. So here we have 10 meter is the answer of this question. 10 meter is the answer. 10 meter. The sensor used in DEM can determine the object higher or it can height greater than 10 meter. Now IRS-1A, 1B satellites can carry which of the following sensor? So I1A, 1B, as I said, they are non-functional. So the satellites RS-1A, 1B may have this LIS-1 and LIS-2 sensors. We already talked about this, and they are mounted on these on board. So let me tell you about LIS-1, LIS-2 also, because we need to know what has happened and where we have reached. So LIS-1, LIS-2 is given here. IRS-1A, 1B, way back 1998 IRS-1A, then 1991 IRS-1B. These are 4 bands: BGR, blue, green, red, and NIR. LIS-2 is also same as LIS-1. And if you see, the spatial resolution was 72.5 and LIS-2 it was 36.25. So it has increased, and after that also it further increased when we had IRS 1C 1D. It further increased. Okay. Then if you see, there are different other satellites also, important satellites. After RS-1A, 1B, P2, 1C, 1D, then P3, P4, P6, P5, Cartosat 2. Okay. And these are resolutions which, if you want to have just a reference of this, you can assume that Cartosat 2 resolution, the 2 points which are discernible or resolvable on ground, it's around 1 meter, and that's very good. 0.8 meter. It's quite good, appreciable. 0.8 meter. And after that also we have various other satellites which gave us a very, very good resolution. I'll just show you some of them which just we know that they have come. These are the recent one. If you have to have a look, these are Earth observation satellite, and it's in which orbit also it is being seen. It is being shown here. December 11, 2019, it's reset. And Cartosat 3, Sat 2B, all these are, Cartosat series was there, ResourceSat series is there, and different resolution, and all these were the satellites which we talked about. So this is all about the sensors. Thank you so much, and take care of yourself.